So welcome to Personal Tax Finance Act 2020. We are on topic property income. So property income, and this is a income from any of the properties like rental income from land, commercial property or residential property for the tax year is included in the income tax computation for that tax year. So it means that tax year means like we are in Finance Act 2020. It means that any income from 6th April 2020 to 5th
5th April to
5th April 2021. Yeah. So this is the year for income tax purpose. So this can be this is actually done on cash basis. Cash basis for annual receipt of up to 150,000, optional to use accrual basis. For exam purpose, assume cash basis unless specified. So this income, rental income, is charged on cash basis. If you do not receive the income, then you do not add that in the income tax return. But cash basis is only up to 150,000. It is optional to use accrual basis as well. You understand the meaning of accrual? That if the rent is due, then even if you have not received that, you can still add in the property income. But for exam purpose, you assume it is cash basis unless they specify you in the exam. Okay, and then accrual basis if the gross rental income is over 150,000. So rental income will include even the rent received from subletted properties, like you rent from somewhere and then rent it again to some other people on higher rent. Some people do it like that as well. So this is all included in the rental income. So how do we do the property income computation? This is a net rental income less allowable expenses. Simple. And then it gives us property income. On this, the tax is charged. So, we'll see further more details about it. So what are the allowable expenditures? When you have a property you are renting on, so that is the income, but you may be spending to maintain that property. So there are allowable expenditures. Only after that we get the rental income to be taxed. So in order to be allowable, expenditure must relate wholly and exclusively to the letting. Therefore, restrict amount allowed for private use. Suppose a property was used for 3 months for private purpose, and then it was let for 9 months. So, like the council tax you might be paying, which is an allowable expense. But if the property was not rented that time, it was a private use, then that council tax will not be an allowable expenditure for 3 months. Rest of the expenditure, when it is an on let, then it will be allowed. And for the time it was vacant, even then that time there is no rent, no allowable expenditure, right? So it should be revenue expenditure and not capital in nature, except some replaceable item. Being accountant, you understand the term revenue and capital. Yeah. So what is revenue is, we will see that what is included. A replacement of domestic item also liable, like includes furniture, furnishing, household appliances, and kitchenware. Like you have rented the property and the fridge is like broken and you have to replace that as a landlord. So that will be an allowable expenditure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we will see later. It comes into that. I can specify here as well that the replacement. It is the word is replacement. It's not new items. Like when you rented, fridge was there, okay, and then you replace that during tenancy, so it is allowable. But if the fridge was not there, you are buying it now it will not be allowed. Okay, so it is the word, that is why it is put in red, that replacement is allowable. Okay. It includes furniture, furnishing, household appliances, and kitchenware. Cost of improvement of asset is not allowed. It's improvement. Yeah, improvement of asset is not allowed. Right. So if like if you build something more in the house, then that cost is not allowed. But repairs, if you have to do any repairs, then it is allowed.
Yeah, but
So
sometimes you can put the repairing rather than improvement.
no, improvement means then it increases the capacity of the asset.
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Like in practical life, some
Yeah.
people they still
Yeah,
go
like
on.
if you make, but it will then upon depend on the amount as well. You will see that repairs are small in nature, isn't
Yeah,
it?
improvement usually takes more money. It
Yeah,
costs a lot more money. Yeah.
yeah. This is disposal of old asset is allowed, but sale proceed of old asset is deducted from the cost of replacement. Like you have to replace a fridge, but the old fridge you are selling, so that proceed will be deducted. So the disposal cost of old asset is allowable, but sale proceed of old asset is deducted from the cost of replacement. Then repair, maintenance, and redecoration, excluding repairs to newly acquired property to make it usable. Repairs, maintenance, and redecoration is allowed. Okay, but it's not that you are making something new. Okay, that is not allowed. Or before renting the property you made some improvement, obviously that will not be allowed. Yeah. Okay, some gardening expense, cleaning expense, if you have to do, it is allowed. Even agent's commission is allowed, like you had to rent the property and you had to pay to the agent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's allowed. Cost of collecting rent, like if your agent is collecting the rent or any legal fees there, then it is allowed. Allowable expenditure may include business rate, water rate, council tax, etc. if paid by landlord. Generally, these things are paid by the tenant only, right? So it is not included in the rent. But if the rent is inclusive of that, then it can be deducted. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, allowable expenditure, is again adding up. Allowable expenditure may include business rate, water rate, and council tax if paid by landlord. It's the same thing. Okay. Also, rent paid to superior landlord in case of subletting is like if you're subletting, then we call the other landlord as superior landlord. Like, yeah, subletting, you understand. You took on the property on rent and then sublet to others. Okay. Interest paid on loan or mortgage to buy the property is also allowed. Yeah? Only the interest, not the amount. If you are paying the amount also, then it's not, but only interest. Insurance and management expenses are allowed. Even cost of advertising for tenants is allowed. Moreover, flat rate mileage allowance for journeys undertaken in connection with rental of properties at the prescribed rate is also allowed. Like if you have to,
Okay.
yes, so much wide, isn't it? So a lot of expenses are allowed. So these are prescribed rates, like some mileage rate you will see in your book. If you, I'll show you in your book, no worries. But these rates are also, given in the exam, that this much mile, if you travel up to say 10,000 miles, then it is 45p per mile, like that. There is a rate. So that is also allowed. Property allowance. All right, it's another thing. Property allowance. Allowance is. Let's read first, and then I will explain. As an alternative to deducting allowable expenditure, An individual may deduct up to £1,000 per year property allowance from total gross rental income of all properties. Like if you have very less expenditures during the year, like you didn't replace any fridge or like it was less than £1,000, then people can just claim a fixed amount of £1,000 per year as a property allowance. Then you don't have to, explain what were the expenses.
Yeah.
So this is property allowance. If the allowable expenditure is less than £1,000 for the year, an individual may deduct property allowance for £1,000 instead of deducting allowance expenditure amount, right? If allowable expenditure is more than income, then normal allowable expenditure can be claimed, in which case a loss can be generated which can be offset later. That is your option. You allow either you take £1,000 or more. Okay. Um, but if your income is like £900, then you can't take property allowance £1,000. Then you have to take 900 only, because you can't claim loss by taking allowable allowance. Like you get rent £900 in a year, which is generally not. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be like you just let the property for 1 month or 2 months like that. So property allowance is full, whether you let it property for 1 month, 2 months, whatever. Yeah, but the rent should be more than property allowance, or at least rent is £1,000. Then you can claim full property allowance £1,000 and no tax. So loss of one property. Suppose but your expenditure are much more, your rent is much more, and there is loss on one of the properties, then it can be offset against profit of other properties in the same year. So we calculate the income on each property and then see that, okay, in one property there was a loss, in another property there was profit, so we can offset that. If there is no profit in other properties to offset, suppose in you are only one house and there was a loss, then it can be carried forward until there is sufficient future property income to offset it. So you can offset this in future years. Okay.
Yeah.
Private use. Expenses relating to solely to letting. Example, agent's commission allowable in full. Annual expenses insurance must be time apportioned if the owner lives in the property for part of the year. Like if you're paying insurance for the whole year, then you'll have to time apportion for the property for the part of the year to claim the expense. Okay. Property losses, where a net loss is incurred in respect of letting, that is expenditure exceeds income, so the negative figure is not included in the income tax computation. The loss is carried forward and relieved against the next available profit from future lettings. So if there is a loss, you can't reclaim the amount from the government. No, you have to carry this forward. If you have several properties, when there is more than one property, best approach is to draw up a statement with one column for each property. The addition of total column provides a means of double checking arithmetic and sets out the figures needed for the tax return. As I said earlier, if you have more than one property, then we calculate income on each property separately. Right?
Yeah, because there are different rent charges.
Different expenses as well. And then we add up and find out the total income to put in the return. Okay, so that's all in this notes. Let's see the book. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, great. Let me open the book.